Well, over to you, Arsenal. Manchester City got the job done against West Ham. Arsenal in second now with a win against Mikel Arteta's former side, Everton, will take them back on top of the Premier League. Pressure on Arsenal here. The Hills Dickinson Stadium will be up in arms, full voice. And this is a cracking game of Premier League action coming to you live from Everton here. The Hills Dickinson Stadium playing host to 10th Everton versus Arsenal, who are currently second in the league. And we're off and running here. Big game here with massive implications. And if Everton win today, they'll go level on points with Sunderland in 7th. As we mentioned before, win for Arsenal and they go top of the Premier League here. Well, they needed last gasp heroics, rather. It was own goals against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Anything in that realm of a performance and they could drop points here. It's been 3 wins out of the last 5. For Everton, it's Carlos Alcaraz, who's playing as the number 10 today. No Dewsbury Hall or Iliman Ndiaye. Huge boost there for Arsenal. No Idrissa Gana Gueye as well, who's gone for AFCON duties. Which means that Everton's lineup is much changed. But they've got James Tarkowski and Michael Keane as their centre-half partnership. Jordan Pickford. Everton also have 3 wins out of the last 5. Got a loss and a draw there. Oh, it was a collision there for Calafiori and Hincapié. Calafiori still on the ground though. Here's James Garner onto the right hand side. Here's Dwight McNeil. He's the one who's in the side on the right hand side instead of Iliman Ndiaye. Jack Grealish will have to take most of the burden of the attacking duties on his experienced shoulders. He has put in a dent in the Arsenal title challenge in the past. In the sky blue, now in dark blue, has an opportunity to do the same here. Michael Keane, Barry, Tierno Barry picked ahead of Beto as the centre forward. Barry just scored the 1 Premier League goal so far, about 15 games. You can see that collision between Hincapié and Calafiori. Calafiori had gone to ground. Hincapié is just holding his shoulder here. And both players getting in their own way. Hincapié's shoulder needs to be tested there. If you're Tierno Barry, just have a look at that and play on that shoulder of Hincapié. Here is the Ecuadorian. Trossard, who scored some clutch goals for Arsenal, now cementing that left wing spot. Thought that the arrival of Ebre Eze and then Gabriel Martinelli, even Noni Madueke, someone like Leandro Trossard would fall below the pecking order, but instead he's taken the challenge and he's risen to it. Here's Jack Grealish. His experience will be absolutely crucial. Irag Bonham, nice pass there to Tierno Barry on the left hand side. Good start this from Everton. Tried to thread that through pass. Last little midfield three of Declan Rice, Martin Zubimendi and Martin Odegaard. What a shocking pass that is. It's a crunching challenge. He got the ball and the man. I think that is Michael Keane, who's gone flying in there on Victor Gyökeres. That was a throwback challenge if I've ever seen one. Gyökeres' touch was slightly heavy. As soon as you show a little of the ball as well to a centre half, he's going to go lunging in, especially when there's a potential for a counter-attack. Here's Jordan Pickford. David Moyes will be absolutely incessant on the fact that they must keep a clean sheet here if they are to get anything against Arsenal. Almost feels like Arsenal is a team that thrive on control, and Everton have to make the game as chaotic as possible, especially on the counter-attack. William Saliba is back in the lineup. Jurriën Timber, just the one injury mainly in the Arsenal side right now, which is Gabriel Magalhaes, which is a huge miss for Arsenal, not just defensively but his set-piece threat as well. Arsenal have not scored from a corner in a while now. Gabriel was a huge part in why that tactic was so successful and almost inevitable. Here's Zubimendi. Struggled against Wolves. Needed something a bit more dynamic from him. It's a game where he can relieve a lot of the pressure off the Arsenal midfield and allow the likes of Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard to make forward runs constantly and provide support for the wingers. Odegaard finds Hincapié. Seems to have shrugged off that shoulder problem. Zubimendi Leandro Trossard. Good shape this from Everton off the ball. They've got James Garner and Tim Iragbunam as their midfield pivot. Jack Grealish helps out defensively, gets the ball first and a bit of Saka. Here's Mikalenko down the left-hand side. Now Grealish. Outside of the boot pass, asking a lot of the Ukrainian there. Is never going to get there. Goal kick for Arsenal. Well, Chelsea didn't manage to keep a clean sheet, so if Arsenal do manage to do that, David Raya will go ahead of Rob Sanchez in the Golden Glove race. Here's Martin Odegaard. In his own box, really. That's the definition of dropping deep to try and create, but he's taken a chance, and Zubomendi is there to mop up. Martin Odegaard just looking a bit laboured on the ball. Doesn't have that quickness anymore, but still a quality player, especially if you show him on that left foot. He's got the cultured pass, he can hit through the ball as well, so a lot of facets for the Arsenal captain there. Gone for the run for Bukayo Saka. Good work there by Jordan Pickford. Here's James Garner, formerly of Manchester United colours. Really has cemented his spot as that centre midfielder, hasn't he? Alongside Idrissa Gana Gueye. Here's Eric Bonham. Good bit of carry there, but Declan Rice with his long legs just goes lunging in, wins the ball clean as a whistle. Here's William Saliba. Arsenal without Gabriel, Christian Mosquera and Ben White. Some of their defensive depth has been chopped in half nearly. The Ben White one was a strange one because he did come out of a long injury, played 3 games in 9 or 11 days. Picks up a long-term injury. Ooh, that's a risky pass there by Urian Timber. And Arsenal's passing has been very horizontal. Nothing in terms of trying to push this forward. This is a perfect tempo for Everton, really. They know that Arsenal will have to come out and try and attack. The pressure's on them to go back to the top of the Premier League table. Switch out here by Trossard. Bukayo Saka, his first involvement. Beautiful first touch by Saka. Urian Timber. And this style of Arsenal play will suit Everton all day, every day. No risk taking yet from Arsenal. Emphasizing on the control element as much as possible. Odegaard finds Nketiah. What you can't accuse Arsenal of being is not patient. They probe as much as the next best team. They want to find that perfect goal almost. Here's Declan Rice. He's been freed from the defensive midfield duties with the arrival of Martin Zubomendi from Real Sociedad. Clip pass for Gyökeres, who's had absolutely no service. Started well with that brace against Nottingham Forest and then against Leeds. But the goals have really dried up for Swedish centre forward. Gabriel Jesus back fit. Fit enough to be on the bench, but could be an extra attacking outlet really for Mikel Arteta's side. Urian Timber. Forcing Raya to go along. Again, Everton in complete control. They might not have the ball, but they are controlling everything that's happening on the pitch here. They're playing exactly how they want here. They know Arsenal have not created much problems here. Dwight McNeil is interested here. Nketiah's headers very good. Back to Calafiori. Italian just pumps that forward. Tarkowski put under a bit of pressure, but great composure there from the centre half. The veteran centre half, I want to add. Really nicely done. He was caught back to goal, just turns away from trouble. Beautifully done. Yes, Jack Grealish. Again, starting at a very high position here. Trying to drag his team forward, use a bit of his passing maybe rather than his ball carrying abilities. James Garner. Into the 10th minute. It's been pretty comfortable for Everton so far. Arsenal fans will be getting nervous. The last thing they want is to be behind Manchester City at any point of the season. Not less they've been leading throughout. It's nearly 2026. Arsenal have led for most of the season. Good header there by Hincapié, but Alcaraz has pinched the loose ball. On the right hand side is Dwight McNeil. Likes to go on his left foot and deliver the ball in. Good defending there by William Saliba. Iragbunam wins the loose ball. Good pressure here from Everton. Mikalenko floats it into the box. Good header there by Calafiori. Excellent read there by the Italian. Here's Declan Rice. He's taking a few liberties with the touches. Needs to move the ball quicker here, Arsenal. That's what the captain does. Odegaard finds Urian Timber. Bukayo Saka. Lovely feed there from the Englishman. Bukayo Saka keeps his balance. Almost feels like the creative burden is on Bukayo Saka and this Arsenal side. He's the one who can manipulate the ball in tight spaces. His in-swinging crosses are a real threat, and that's something that Everton will have to be wary about, especially Mikalenko. Jack Grealish may not track back every time. Sometimes he might be isolated, and that's where he has to be switched on. Again, Everton finding it very comfortable. Beautiful pass there by Michael Keane. Barry, great feet. Again, O'Brien has to go flying in. Instead, he just pulls out of the challenge. Dwight McNeil does very well to help out. And Everton win the ball back. Brilliant. They're very much up for the fight. They know that they can put pressure on Arsenal. Just match them physically. That's exactly what they've done in the early stages. They've not missed the likes of Dewsbury Hall, Iliman Ndiaye and Idris Agana Gaye. Channel pass for Barry. William Saliba has conceded the corner, and the game's second corner rather, falls to Everton. William Saliba does well to defend his near post. Again, Thierry Barry has made that run into the channel. That's a very good run by the Frenchman. You may not get anything from that run, but you just create a bit of panic. That's exactly what Barry did here, and it's a corner for Everton. Set pieces will be a great equalizer for Everton. Not being able to create much in open play. James Garner will whip this one in with his right foot. Everton have got to throw back centre halves in Michael Keane and James Tarkowski as James Garner delivers. Ryan, no man's land. Goes down like a sack of potatoes. Oh, that's a crunching challenge there by James Tarkowski, and he gets the throw in. And it's a fist pump too. It's just 12 minutes on the clock. It just feels like Everton are up for this one. Good ball in here by James Garner, and this is not a good look there for David Raya, who just gets sandwiched there with a couple of players. So throw-in opportunity here for Everton. O'Brien will look to just fling this one into the box. It's been uncomfortable for Arsenal so far. O'Brien with the throw. Decent flick on header. Barry got the touch. I think the last touch came off Urian Timber. It's another corner for Everton. The pressure has been relentless by the home side. It's a wrestling match between Tarkowski and Saliba. Thierry Barry just getting to lift, just flick that over Timber. Good defending by the Dutchman. It will be a left-footed in-swinger by Dwight McNeil. The last corner caused a bit of problems there for David Raya. It's all about the delivery though. Oh, it's great whip on it, but a little too much there by Dwight McNeil. Wasted corner that. David Moyes, absolutely furious. He's the throwback coach. He knows the importance of set pieces. He is seething with that delivery. Just lets Arsenal off the hook. Well, Arteta, of course, played under David Moyes in the early 2000s when he was at Everton before making the switch to Arsenal. Barry's hold-up play will be tested here against William Saliba and Piero Hincapié. Victor Gyökeres not able to bring that ball down accurately. It's been a struggle for the Swede. Well, both Swedish strikers really, Alexander Isak and Victor Gyökeres. But for big money moves, yeah, Alcaraz does brilliantly here. It's Carlos Alcaraz. Oh, the touch is really poor. just shows far too much of it to William Saliba, but Everton getting into decent positions here. Here's Alcaraz, does very well to secure the ball. Again, not looking comfortable for Arsenal here. Into the 15th minute, Tierno Barry, again, Eric Bonham does very well to win the challenge. Ooh, he's gone lunging in. Bukayo Saka with a very poor pass. Tries to find Victor Gyökeres in space. Pass has to be a whole lot better here. Michael Keane finds Tarkowski. That's a poor pass there by the centre half. Well, the captain will be very happy with the way that his team have been very much up for it. Arsenal have been searching for answers here. They've not tested Jordan Pickford whatsoever in the first 15 minutes. Arsenal are a bit of a slow burner team. They do get stronger as the half goes on. Their physicality and power really does take over. Declan Rice is the embodiment of that. Zubimendi finds Trossard. Trossard to Declan Rice. Pedestrian passing this from Arsenal. They need to get it quicker. Here's Saka on the right hand side. Now looking to inject a bit of pace on it. Mykolenko defends very well. Not just that, he puts in a decent ball for Barry to attack. Alcaraz. Clever. So is Ghana. That's wonderful football this from Everton. Here's Grealish on the left hand side. Great composure by the players involved. Alcaraz, Garner and Grealish securing possession for Everton. They're looking comfortable. That's not a good sign for Arsenal. Mykolenko getting the better of Saka again. Good bit of skill there by the Ukrainian. Is getting a lot more confidence now. A couple of duels against Saka. Able to chop him on that occasion. Arsenal attacking wise have offered very little going forward. Gyökeres has had maybe 2 touches in the match so far. Here's Eric Bonham. James Garner, Alcaraz. Okay, you want to see Jack Grealish slightly higher up the pitch. Here he is on the ball, gets away from Saka brilliantly. Here's Jack Grealish, excellent carry, but doing a little too much there, trying to take on 3 Arsenal players. That's the kind of responsibility you want Jack Grealish to take. Maybe taking too much on his plate on that occasion. David Moyes will be happy with the fire that his players have shown. Just a bit of quality on top of that. Arsenal could really be asking, really searching for answers. Timber looking to frustrate the home supporters. Saka, brilliant pass there for Leandro Trossard on the left-hand side. O'Brien doesn't have to worry about Trossard's pace, but his trickery is excellent. O'Brien goes crunching into the challenge. Brilliant from the fullback. Zubimendi, Declan Rice. Arsenal looking to up the tempo here. Going to create a good opportunity. Calafiori. There's Calafiori again. First time that we're seeing the Italian making forward runs. It's Saka on the left-hand side. Decent ball in. It's Zubimendi on his left foot. Skies it over. Well, that's the first time that Arsenal have created something of note. Just took a ricochet in the box. Fell very kindly to the Spaniard. On his left foot. Took a decent strike. Again, the technique on it. Trying to get over it on your weaker left foot. Did catch it well, but a little too well. That's the first time that we've seen Arsenal let loose with a shot. It's taken a good part of 18 minutes for that to happen, and Everton have kept Arsenal at arm's length. Seeing Seamus Coleman, Kieran Dewsbury Hall, both not available for the match. Dewsbury Hall with that injury against Chelsea. It's a first half injury, unfortunately for him. His return back to Stamford Bridge ended in just under 15 minutes. Here's Martin Zubimendi. Arsenal going with the back 3 shape here temporarily. It's almost like Hincapié playing as the left back. And you can see Ricardo Calafiori just playing as that advanced midfielder. Seen a lot of coaches do that with their fullbacks in attacking positions. Enzo Maresca does that with Cucurella. Oh my word, David Raya has taken a chance, and it might pay dividends here as Gyökeres feeds it onto the right hand side to Bukayo Saka. Here's Saka now. Oh, he tries to find Jurrien Timber on the overlap, but doesn't match his run. But good play there by Timber. Saka, Odegaard on his left foot. Cross comes in. Decent header, but it's never really going to trouble Pickford. The first effort for Victor Gyökeres. Ball into the box was fed early there by the captain. Bukayo Saka and Jurrien Timber not on the same wavelength there as the attack was being manufactured on the right hand side. Decent ball there by Martin Odegaard. It's got the pace on it. Just need to get the perfect kind of header to just place that in the corner. Didn't time his jumper. Arsenal's now trying to get a few more efforts. I think that has threatened Jordan Pickford yet. 20 minutes on the clock. Comfortable for the home side. Manchester City fans, players, management, everybody will just be having an eye at this game. They know if Arsenal drop points here, it's a massive statement. Not just in terms of points, but when the pressure is on Arsenal to go back on top of the league. And if they don't get it done, questions will be asked. Manchester City have been there, done that. Erling Haaland has scored what? 18, 19 Premier League goals? Man's an absolute freak. Every time you check Manchester City scores, you see 1-0 and you just know who scored, right? It's always Haaland. That's the thing. He gets the first goal, the most important goal. Just relaxes the team from there. Again, Arsenal with very little movement here. It's been pedestrian play from Arsenal. Just a lot of touches between the centre halves and the defensive midfielders. Very little progressive play. Again, Odegaard, see how deep he's dropping to progress the ball forward. He's in his own half. That's not where you want your number 10 to be. Bukayo Saka on the right hand side, hugging the touchline. Good bit of play there by Bukayo Saka. Finds Jurrien Timber. Takes a deflection. Victor Gyökeres can't fling himself. And it's a corner. Huge let off there for Everton. It seemed like a tap in for Victor Gyökeres. Well, Gyökeres is convinced that was a pen, was a shove on the back. We'll wait and see. It's desperate defending there by Everton. Jurrien Timber. Nah, that's not a pen. O'Brien has just had a bit of contact on him. But you expect a bit more strength there from Victor Gyökeres. Awkward deflection. Nah, Victor Gyökeres is already going to ground, unfortunately. He's not going to get a pen for that. Well, O'Brien has just put his hands on the back. You have to ask yourself whether or not that's enough. That's nowhere near enough. Especially for a 6-foot+ striker. Need a bit more contact before you can go to ground like that. Well, halfway through the first half, Arsenal having a bit more territory, few more efforts. First time that they've created a bit of panic in the Everton backline. Declan Rice to deliver one of his trademark right-footed in-swingers. This is where Everton have to switch on here. They've matched Arsenal so far. Declan Rice whips it in. What a ball! And the header's off target. It's Ricardo Calafiori who got there with ample amount of time but can't direct his header on target. Brilliant ball in by Declan Rice. Oh, Calafiori. This is a very curious jump here from O'Brien because he goes with both hands. Oh my word, this could be a pen, you know. Why is his hands up there? That's a pen. What is he doing, O'Brien? My word, it is so bad. Oh, Arsenal are going to get out of jail with this one, man. Terrible from O'Brien. What are you thinking? He's got both his hands up. It has no business being there. No amount of distance can pardon that. Oh, it's going to be a pen. There's no doubt in my mind. The referee has been sent. He's going to have a look, and there's absolutely no doubt in my mind that the pen will be given here. O'Brien with the most foolish of decisions. I mean, This doesn't need a couple more looks here. One look and you know that's a pen. It's absolutely shocking. What are you doing there, O'Brien? Yes, it doesn't really change the trajectory of the ball, but you can't put your arms up there. If they get... I mean, why is he... The referee's had to look at 5 or 6 times. Why? It's hit his arm. It's hit his hands. What are you thinking? This would be such a Christmas gift here for Arsenal. I mean, out of absolutely nothing, Everton are going to concede a pen. O'Brien can have absolutely no complaints here. When you're jumping, your hands do not belong there. He's got the jump. Why are your hands there? Oh, it's so bad, man. It's like schoolboy stuff. The pen's given. Absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind, man. That is such a terrible way to concede an opening. A chance for Arsenal. It's got to be Martin Odegaard who has the absolute luxury from 12 yards to put this past Jordan Pickford. Pickford has a decent penalties record save. Odegaard might go to his right here. You know that left footer really likes to find that corner with pace. Tarkowski has picked up a yellow card by the looks of it. Well, Odegaard has given the ball to Victor Gyökeres. The captain has delegated duties to his number 9 to score from the spot here. It would be a goal that really does boost his confidence. It's Victor Gyökeres up against Jordan Pickford. With 26 minutes on the clock, massive moment in this match. Arsenal have rarely threatened, but they have a huge opportunity from 12 yards out. It's Victor Gyökeres up against Pickford. Gyökeres! Oh, he buries that pen. No doubt from the Swede. He pulls out his trademark celebration and it's 1-0 to Arsenal. He has nailed that pen. No chance for Jordan Pickford. And O'Brien will be thinking, why, oh why, did I do that? Emphatic pen there from the Swede. Well, Arsenal got a gift, an absolute gift. They've got 2 own goals scored in their favour against Wolverhampton Wanderers, and now Everton concede a pen out of absolutely nothing. Teams are feeling awfully lot of charity towards Arsenal, it's got to be said. It's only a bit of sour grapes, but Victor Gyökeres finally breaking that goalless drought. Well, Everton can take heart here. They know that the game is still very much there to compete here. Declan Rice defends well. Eric Burnham has done very well in midfield. He's got a great presence about him. Seems to be understanding in terms of interceptions, where to be and win the ball cleanly. And this is where Everton will have to just continue playing how they did in the first 25 minutes or so. As it stands, Arsenal go 2 points on top of the Premier League. Fairly premature here as there's a lot of football still to be played. Arsenal only scoring because of O'Brien's brain fart moment. Here's Calafiori. Tarkowski does well. Barry brings that down nicely. Good play this from Everton. James Garner. Clever pass between the lines to Jack Grealish. It's a beautiful pass, but David Raya, great anticipation there from the Spanish goalkeeper. Clever pass that Everton were looking to just pierce the lines with those clever reverse passes. Into the 30th minute. Arsenal will know that they've had a huge slice of luck. Saliba, Raya. Press here from Everton, not allowing Arsenal to settle on the ball. Hincapié forced to go long. James Garner seems to be winning his midfield duels. Odegaard, Rice, heavy touch, but good recovery there from Rice. Calafiori gets away from Dwight McNeil. And Odegaard, he's between his centre halves. Is this where you want your most creative player to be? I'm not really sure. These are the positions that he's picking up. Maybe he doesn't trust his defenders or even Zubomendi to deal with the build-up there. On Martin Odegaard to be in those pockets, turning away from defenders, making quick decisions. Not these 5, 6, 7 laborious touches in your own half. They don't really help. Here's Nketiah. Calafiori. Good defending by O'Brien. He'll feel that he'll want to make amends at some point in this match. Really was a crazy pen to give. I mean, you cannot be conceding pens like that. Not at this level, especially when you're playing well. You know that you've done some really good stuff in the match. Last thing you want is to just concede a needless pen. Now the pressure is right back onto you and the onus to score the goal is on you. Just let the team off the hook slightly. 15 minutes though for Everton to pull a goal back. Arsenal will be just looking to close this game out. As few more problems as possible. Here's Saliba. Does nicely to get away from Pierre Nobari. Lovely carry there by Calafiori, but he gets stripped of possession there. Ghana's been excellent midfield, but Alcaraz's pass is not good. Here's Piero Hincapié. William Saliba. They're inviting the Everton press here. They play it out beautifully here for Yuri and Timber. Gets away from Eric Bonham. Oh, what a challenge that is from Tim. Eric Bonham, magnificent. He had no right to win the ball. He uses his long legs to reach around and win the ball cleanly and then gets the foul. Outstanding from the Englishman. Look at that from Eric Bonham. Clean tackle. Beautiful on the slide. It's a risky one too because if he doesn't get it right, it's a yellow card because of the nature of the challenge. Those kind of tackles really does rile up the crowd. They'll know that they've competed here against Arsenal. It's just a moment of madness there from their fullback as to why they're trailing in this game. Jordan Pickford pumps the ball forward. They do in the first header. Should be able to clear. It's a pinball in the just outside the box. Here's Ghana. Showcases a bit of composure. Couple of risky touches, but too much risk involved. Jordan Pickford. A needless ball really. It just goes straight back to David Raya. Arsenal are not showing that will, that urge to go out there and score the second. Have pretty much sat back after scoring the first. Victor Gyökeres's emphatic penalty. The difference between the two teams so far. Again, in open play, they've not really opened Everton up. Clever back heel, Calafiori. Now Martin Odegaard. Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side. He's got Odegaard on the overlap. Decides to go for Timber instead. Timber to the captain, Odegaard. Timber now making the overlap. Clever pass. First time ball into the box. Flashed across the face of goal. Well defended there by Everton. Zubomendi. Onto the left-hand side. Here's Trossard now. Keeps it short. Saka's on the left-hand side now. Odegaard is screaming for the ball. Keep the attack pinned on the left-hand side though. Saka. Trossard. Here's Zubomendi. Now Martin Odegaard comes onto the left-hand side. Clever clip pass. Oh, there's a chance there. It's brilliant by O'Brien. Had to get that on the stretch. It's a clever pass there by Martin Odegaard. He was getting no such response on the right-hand side. Decided to switch lanes onto the left. Found the ball to that side. Clever pass, and Trossard was just waiting for the ball to drop to him. He is lethal in the box. All Trossard needs is a half chance. He is very, very clinical when the chance does fall to him. Well, Chelsea's 2-2 draw at St. James's Park, having been down 2-0 at half-time, means that whatever the results were, we would finish or end match week 17 in 4th position. But Liverpool now level on points after their 2-1 victory against 9-man Tottenham Hotspur. Thomas Frank's tough time at Spurs continues. Mykolenko, very good cushion header. Everton need to just create a couple of chances before the end of the first half. Even if they don't score, just put that threat in the back of the Arsenal players' mind that you're very much capable of scoring. You need to test David Raya at least once in the next 10 minutes. That should be David Moyes' team talk. Just get that shot across. Get the best possible shot, just don't shoot from anywhere. You want to test David Raya. Here's Nketiah. Calafiori. And Everton very much up for it. We've seen Thierno Barry put himself about. Eric Bonham has been the highlight midfielder so far. Raya onto the left-hand side. Here's Piero Nketiah. It's a risky approach there by David Raya. You see what he was trying to do there. It needed the centre forward to really pin the defender and find that accurate pass. Saliba wins the header against Thierno Barry. Zubamendi finds Martin Odegaard. Good defending there by Mykolenko. He's off balance, still defends beautifully against Bukayo Saka. This game has lacked quality. There is jeopardy in the match though. Sometimes it's that jeopardy element that really does make the game a fun watch. Arsenal do like to squeeze the life out of the opposition. Here's Saliba. Zubamendi. Here's Piero Nketiah. Onto the left-hand side is Trossard. Arsenal will want to take this lead heading into the half-time whistle, that's for sure. But can they double it and really cement their spot in this game and regain their spot in the top of the Premier League table with force? Here's Saliba. It's risk-free football here from Arsenal so far. Nketiah. Trossard. You can see Calafiori in that left-hand side number 10 position. Odegaard, who's got free rein. He can play anywhere on the pitch by the looks of it. He's dropped in between the centre halves. He's been dictating in the middle of the pitch. Finds himself on the right and now on the left-hand side. Constant menace. Alcaraz with a lovely first touch. Gets away from the challenge. Oh, that's a poor pass. Declan Rice wins it. Oh, that's a terrible challenge. Tarkowski, isn't he already on a yellow card? I really hope not, because that's a terrible challenge. He does pick up a yellow card. He can have no complaints. He goes lunging in on Gyökeres right in front of the referee. You're never going to survive that. James Tarkowski with an old school lunge by the looks of it. It's a free kick opportunity for Arsenal. Tarkowski with the yellow card. Arsenal did benefit from the set piece early on where the penalty did come from. Since then, they haven't really tested Jordan Pickford too much, but David Raya in goal has had very little to do himself, so it's been a very even game. Arsenal just shading it. With Victor Gyökeres' penalty, the decisive moment in the match so far. Into the 40th minute, take the free kick shot. Curious decision. Here's Declan Rice. Yurian Timber onto the right-hand side. Bukayo Saka, Mykolenko and Jack Grealish for company. Here's Timber. Again, very much sideways passing here from Arsenal, but it's incremental progress up the pitch. Here's Calafiori. Declan Rice again. Arsenal just playing very slow and patient, almost surgical football here. Trying to bait the Everton press, get them to commit and try and play around them. They need those number 10 players to be focal. That's why you want someone like Ebre Eze. I think on that left-hand side, number 10 position, he can really make things happen on the turn, make those quick decisions. Be a valuable weapon in the second half, that's for sure. That's why Arsenal went and spent the big bucks on him. Doesn't have to start every game, but what an option off the bench. Here's Nketiah. 5 minutes plus stoppage time remain in this first half. Hasn't been an electrifying watch, but there's a lot of mystique, a lot of intrigue in this game here. Trossard on the right-hand side. Feeds it to Calafiori, making the overlapping run on the left-hand side now. Dwight McNeil is there for company. Here's Zubimendi. Trossard. Martin Odegaard on the right-hand side. Finds Bukayo Saka. Bukayo Saka on his left foot. Thought about the shot. Odegaard. Good patient play this from Arsenal. Declan Rice with the strike. And it's well over. It's almost an anticlimactic end to the move here. Arsenal were trying to be laser-like in terms of precision and their possession game there. The shot at the end of it, not very composed there from Declan Rice. Victor Gyökeres was very much composed from the spot. Went for direction and a whole lot of power. David Moyes with his hand in head after that incident. He could not believe the manner of which the penalty was conceded. O'Brien with his hands where they did not belong in the corner. Needless, absolutely needless. Barry wins a brilliant header. Alcaraz asks a lot out of Jack Grealish. Grealish brings it under control, and it's almost like the Pep Guardiola style where he just secures possession rather than take on the fullback. Pass forward for Barry, who's not been into the game, but a few touches here or there shows that he can win aerial duels against William Saliba and Piero Hincapié, but he needs a lot more support in and around him. Trossard. Martin Zubimendi. Everton with just 35% of the ball, but that's a statistic that they won't mind. Arsenal have not created too much in terms of open play chances. That will please David Moyes, knowing that defensively they have been solid. They need to find a few solutions going forward. Dwight McNeil, nowhere near the quality in terms of Iliman Ndiaye. I mean, Iliman Ndiaye is an absolute maverick. He's not going to be there because of AFCON duties alongside Idrissa Gana Gueye. So huge blow there for David Moyes. Both players representing Senegal, but I've liked the way that Eric Bonham has stepped in the midfield area alongside James Garner. He has looked the part, shown that he can bring some of that tackling abilities. What is the most underrated area of Idrissa Gana Gueye's play is the way that he controls the tempo, his touches, his passing. He's an experienced midfielder. Will be a miss. Saka does well to commit Mykolenko out of position. Here's Declan Rice, now switches it, but easily dealt with by Michael Keane. Alcaraz in that number 10 position has been combative. Eric Bonham. Might be a foul there by Declan Rice. The referee doesn't seem to think so. Just under 90 seconds of the first 45 minutes remain. Expect about 3 or 4 minutes of stoppage time. Rice. Piero Hincapié. Here's William Saliba now. On the right hand side, Saliba drives forward. Good pass there for Victor Gyökeres. What a challenge on the slide. Is James Tarkowski, who goes shoulder to shoulder with the Swede. You were almost favouring Victor Gyökeres. That's brilliant from Saliba. That first touch from Gyökeres is decent. He gets it out of his feet. But it is James Tarkowski on the slide. Magnificent challenge. That is as good of a last ditch challenge as you'll see. Concedes a corner. Arsenal looking to finish off the half on a stronger note here if they can get the goal. Be a huge boost heading into the halftime whistle. Wayne Rooney, the former Evertonian, in attendance today. Tierno Barry wins another header here. He's done very well there, Barry, in terms of those flick-on headers. Needs to try and find his teammates a lot more, but his teammates have to make sure that they're around Barry, especially when the ball has been hung up in the air. Ricardo Calafiori has suffered a blow here. Seems that his wind has been knocked out. Holding his sternum. Oh, it's a nasty landing. Whoa. He's clattered his head too. This is not ideal there for Ricardo Calafiori. He lands awkwardly on his back, and then there was a bit of whiplash when he landed on his head. There's 4 minutes of added on time remaining in this first half. That will be extended, but they're going to have to check whether or not Calafiori is okay to continue, because that was a nasty fall. David Moyes has aged a couple of years in this 45 minutes. He's really been displeased with a few elements of the game, but overall he can be happy. But attacking wise, he'll need his team to be a bit more composed in the final third. Need to see a lot more of Jack Grealish. There have been just a very few touches. Need to be a lot more involved, demand the ball, take on the fullback. Expect him to do that in the second half, that's for sure. They're going to take their time with Ricardo Calafiori here. Rightfully so. Those kind of nasty landings, especially with a bit of whiplash with your neck and your head, really be troublesome here. But Everton at 1-0 down. The game is there to be levelled at least, but they need to show a bit more quality in the forward areas. Arsenal defensively have had very little problems. Going forward, it's been a hard watch from an Arsenal point of view. Victor Gyökeres, just a few minutes ago, had his only real half chance. His effort was very well defended by James Tarkowski. Declan Rice and Jack Grealish having a cheeky word here as Calafiori is back on his feet. Good news for Arsenal, that's for sure. And Calafiori will be feeling a whole lot more relieved that he's okay to continue. Well, footballers, athletes in general, really are built different. There's no way that Ricardo Calafiori would want to come off the pitch, especially with the game still in jeopardy. If Arsenal drop points here in any manner, a draw, a loss, it would be a huge lift off for Manchester City, who've been relentless in trying to chase Arsenal down. A few weeks ago, there was a 9-point gap. Matter of games, it's just been flipped on its head. Play continues here. Bit of a lengthy stoppage, but you understand why. Here's Jordan Pickford. Just decides to pump that forward. Everton looking to win the first or the second ball. They win neither. Trossard does well. Good defending there by James Tarkowski. Decent ball forward. Alcaraz tries to bring that down. Jack Grealish on the follow through. Might have caught Piero Hincapié there. Michael Keane does brilliantly up against Victor Gyökeres. Eric Bonham. Good composure from the Englishman. There's Alcaraz. A different kind of number 10 to Kieran Dewsbury Hall. Barry wins another knockdown header. It's been the third or fourth one. Clever flick on there by Grealish. Here's Eric Bonham. O'Brien. Garner. Decent ball in, but it's an easy gather there for David Raya. James Garner finding himself at left wing in that attack, but better there from Everton. It all started with Tierno Barry winning yet another header. He's gotten a lot of joy in terms of those flick on headers. Timber does brilliantly to get out of the very tight spot that he found himself in. We passed the 4 minutes of stoppage time. Referee's had a look. Might be that in terms of first half play here. Could be a better watch. I'm sure the second half will be better. You know that Everton will be looking to put Arsenal under a lot more pressure. They found the formula in terms of competing with them physically and then defensively as well, but going forward, they can do so much better. Here's O'Brien. Channel pass for Barry. Good header there by Piero Hincapié. Now William Saliba. Bukayo Saka. He's been surrounded by blue shirts all around. Lovely turn there from Eric Bunham. He's been one of the best midfielders in this match so far. Oh, that pass there from Alcaraz is very poor. And Arsenal now on the break here. They've committed bodies forward. It's Odegaard. What a poor pass there for Victor Gyökeres. There's a ball into the box. It's Saka's header. It's a very poorly stitched Arsenal attack there. Odegaard's pass to Victor Gyökeres has to be better here. It's overhead. You're asking Gyökeres to try and recover that ball. And he just puts that into an area. It's a very poor attack there from Arsenal. And that's when they had their main front three all in the attack. There's Saka, Gyökeres and Martin Odegaard, but it turns into a nothing attack in the end. But in midfield, Everton keep winning the ball high up the pitch. Eric Bunham has looked excellent in the absence of Idrissa Gana Gueye. This might be the last action of what has been a tight and tense first half here at the Hills Dickinson Stadium. Trossard. Grealish picks up the ball. Zubimendi mops up. Timber. Saka. Zubimendi. Good play there. Alcaraz wins the ball and then plays the 1-2 here with Barry. Alcaraz asking a lot out of Barry. Barry does brilliantly well, but William Saliba is the Rolls-Royce defender that he is. Barely breaks sweat there. Matches him for pace and power, speed, everything that you want in a centre half. William Saliba embodies that. Again, decent there from Alcaraz. First time that he combined with Tierno Barry in the attacking sense. He's been combative in midfield. You want him to see a lot more of those number 10 tendencies. Here's Urian Timber. Declan Rice. Ooh, that's a late lunge there by Eric Bunham. He might avoid a yellow card because that is the last action of what has been a very tense first half here at the Hills Dickinson Stadium. O'Brien conceding a needless penalty which Victor Gyökeres buried from 12 yards. Power and placement from the Swede who finally breaks his goal drought and he's back on the score sheet here for Arsenal. It's a crucial 3 points as it stands for Arsenal as they go back to the top of the Premier League after Manchester City got the business done against West Ham early on. It was a 3-0 victory. Erling Haaland scoring a brace, his 18th and 19th Premier League goal. I mean, 17 games, 19 goals. This guy is not messing around. He's well on course to scoring 40 goals in the Premier League. I mean, he's an absolute alien. You see on the other end, other teams struggling with their strikers, but it's been a weekend where the centre forwards have been scoring. Ekitike and Isak scored. João Pedro scored a fantastic goal, all of his own doing. Victor Gyökeres from the spot. Erling Haaland, faultless as always. Expect the second half to be a lot better though. In terms of quality, expect Everton to be a bit more progressive with their play. Yes, no Dewsbury Hall, no Iliman Ndiaye on the bench, which means that David Moyes will have to be creative. He's got Beto, his centre forward, but Tierno Barry has really grown into the game here. He should stay on for as long as possible. And not much in terms of defensive options or attacking options rather. They've got Tyler Dibling, who can create a bit of chaos on the wings. We've seen him at Southampton briefly when Southampton were in the league. Yeah, Beto and Dibling. As for Arsenal, they've got options aplenty. Gabriel Jesus is there. They've got Ebre Eze, Gabriel Martinelli. Plenty of firepower for Arsenal to kill the game off early in the second half. Defensively, Arsenal have been rarely threatened. Seen that Barry winning a couple of headers here and there, but David Raya had absolutely nothing to do in that first half. So long may it continue from an Arsenal point of view, and that's where David Moyes will be slightly disappointed that his team have not taken advantage of some of the decent positions that they found themselves in, especially when Arsenal turned the ball over. Hoping the second half is a better watch. Early on, my weekend started off with a 2-2 draw at St. James's Park. I mean, in previous years, we probably lose that game 3-0 or 4-1, but we showed incredible comeback skills and fighting spirit that has been absent at St. James's Park over the years. They were 2-0 down at halftime. Nick Woltemade scoring both the goals. Could have very easily had a first half hat-trick, but in the second half, Chelsea took over. Newcastle did not have a shot on target. They had a few half chances, especially with Harvey Barnes at the end, but the Reece James free kick was absolutely special. We needed a moment of magic to open the game up and give us something to try and fight towards the end. It was magnificent from Reece James, and then the magic did not stop as Joao Pedro, all his own doing there, winning the flick on header against Malik Thiaw, turning away from trouble, running straight through on goal, and then slotting it past Aaron Ramsdale beautifully to bring it back to 2-2. We didn't really have too many chances to get the winner, but pleased with the point because it could have been a whole lot worse. And it's a psychological boost as well. We get the point and we stay in fourth position. It's not ideal considering that Manchester United playing Aston Villa tomorrow. Arsenal go further clear from us. Manchester City just seem to be keeping pace, and now they seems to have just found their rhythm there. Nico Gonzalez in midfield seems to be very, very astute purchase. A lot of questions were asked about him, but in Rodri's absence, he's just seamlessly slotted in. Then you see the likes of Ryan Cherki, Jeremy Doku, Phil Foden now getting with the goals as well, and then Erling Haaland, the machine that he is. That's why Arsenal cannot allow Manchester City at any point in the season to get ahead of them, even if it is for one match week. I mean, it is a psychological blow because they know that if they drop any more points after that and a City get a 4 or even 6 point lead, it's over. Because Pep Guardiola rarely throws it away from those kind of positions. They've been chasing the title for a couple of seasons now. Pep Guardiola know that this is a season where they're very much, maybe not at their best, but still within touching distance. Be back for the second half. Promises to be an interesting game. Well, you're nearly there for the start of the second half. I don't see Arsenal making any changes at half time, but for Everton's point of view, a few changes could make things very interesting. They don't have too many options on the bench, only Tyler Dibbling and Beto as the forward options, so they might have to try and do as much as possible with the players in the stadium, in the starting 11 here at the Hills Dickens Stadium. Beautiful stadium, very modern looking. Everton have moved to a new stadium. It's Chelsea's time at some point as well to move to a stadium that can hold about 60,000 on a match day. Well, Arsenal getting the job done in the first half, courtesy of the Victor Gyökeres penalty. In the second half, things can change with the home support in full voice. They know that Arsenal can be vulnerable if the pressure is put on them relentlessly, but defensively they've been very solid. To Mikel Arteta and Arsenal's credit, they have been throughout the campaign. They have been letting a few goals in lately, especially that one against Wolverhampton Wanderers very late on would have caused the Arsenal fans a lot of trauma, but they got away with it at the end with that very late own goal. A few minutes on and players getting ready for their instructions. Well, Arsenal have the likes of Martinelli, Gabriel Jesus and Ebre Eze all on the bench. Plenty of attacking options for Mikel Arteta to use. The game demands it, because at 1-0, the game still remains open, and the longer that stays 1-0, it gives Everton enough impetus to go out there and try and chase that equaliser with a lot more of their verve and enthusiasm. Lot of trauma, but they got away with it at the end with that very late own goal. But the players are heading out for the start of the second half. Massive 45 minutes in the context of the top of the Premier League table. As it stands, Arsenal regaining their top spot here. That Victor Gyökeres penalty, the difference maker between the two teams here. It was an emphatic penalty from 12 yards out. The Swedes showing power and placement, burying that pen past Jordan Pickford. It was a needless pen conceded. You could see the reaction from David Moyes after that, but it's a huge 45 minutes coming up here. Everton can push up the table. They find themselves in 10th here, but a loss will put that position in jeopardy, as Arsenal, for them, a win and nothing but a win is what they're looking for here. There have been some shining lights for Everton in terms of that first half performance. I thought James Garner and Tim Irakbunum were excellent in midfield. Need to try and link that play. Need a bit more from Alcaraz in the midfield area, especially as that number 10 to try and thread the pass. Needs to stay closer to Thierno Barry, who's been winning a lot more headers. Massive 45 minutes coming up here at the Hills Dickinson Stadium. From Everton's point of view, they're just chasing the single goal so far. If they can get that in the next 25 to 30 minutes, it can be a grandstand end to a cracking game here away at Everton. James Garner can take a lot of positives from that first half. And we're off and running for the start of the second half here at the Hills Dickinson Stadium. Arsenal with the 1-0 lead, courtesy of Victor Gyökeres. The difference between the two teams so far here. How will the second half turn out to be? We'll wait and see. Again, Arsenal picking up a dangerous position there, as Everton had an opportunity to just squeeze that through pass. I think that was Alcaraz once again not getting the through pass right. Subamendi just happy to hack that away. Anywhere will do. It's a throw in for Everton. Looking to put pressure on early here. O'Brien will be looking to make amends after conceding that needless pen. Here he is with the throw in. Decent ball in. They don't clear. Strike by Alcaraz. They're asking for a handball. I think the distance between the two players, the only reason as to why the pen won't be given there, it was a firm strike. They're going to have a check here. Again, you can see Timber's arm away from his body, but then he's almost just trying to protect the ball away from Eric Burnham. Play continues here. Arsenal won't concede the pen. Brian with the throw. Declan Rice with a brilliant reach and then just whacks that clear. Here's Tarkowski. And pumps that long ball forward. David Raya should be favourite, and he is. Quick gather and a quick release as well. And Arsenal's tempo has been questionable in this first half. Haven't looked to move the Everton defence around with their quick and sharp passing. Martin Odegaard has been a lot of effort but very little quality from the Arsenal skipper. Here's Declan Rice. Ooh, Piero Hincapié getting a late challenge on him, but play continues. Here's Rice. Rice again finds Piero Hincapié. Arsenal looking to keep a clean sheet with this pairing. Saliba. David Raya just decides to pump that long. Good win there once again by Michael Keane. The way that the defenders have dealt with Victor Gyökeres' presence has been admirable, but they are two brute centre backs, James Tarkowski and Michael Keane. Good pass there by Tarkowski to O'Brien. Here's Dwight McNeil. Lovely switch out on his left foot here to Jack Grealish. Grealish up against Timber. Grealish finds Mikolenko. First time ball into the box. The header is well defended there by Arsenal. Flick on header. The ball comes back in with interest, and it's a good attacking header there by Alcaraz. But he doesn't get a good enough contact on it, and Arsenal survive. Better there from Everton. Bit more of the throwback football there with crosses into the box. But Arsenal defend well. Here's Rice. Finds Leandro Trossard. Rice again being put under pressure there by James Garner. William Saliba. Now Piero Hincapié. Arsenal not looking to force this one here. They know that Everton will have to do the chasing, and as long as this stays at 1-0, Everton will be coming out a lot more. Here's Zubimendi. Again, it's short and crisp passing here from Arsenal, but they're not taking too many risks in terms of trying to open up the opposition. The longer they leave this at 1-0, Everton will have the encouragement of trying to chase this game down. That's why the second goal is absolutely crucial for Arsenal. Here's Hincapié. Dwight McNeil trying to make his presence known as the right-sided winger. Again, he'll have to shoulder the burden that huge gap that Iliman Ndiaye will be leaving for his AFCON duties. Here's Raya. Hincapié. Channel pass to Trossard. Well intercepted. Alcaraz gets there first. James Garner trying to get away from Piero Hincapié, but Arsenal turn out of trouble very well. What a pass that is by Trossard to Gyökeres on the left-hand side. He's got a bit of room to stretch those legs. Gyökeres trying to bulldoze his way past Saka. Oh, the ball nearly squirms past Pickford. Bit of luck and judgment there from the Everton keeper, but that was a powerful run there by Victor Gyökeres. Trying to be forceful in his approach play. He had two defenders to try and burst past. Nearly gets there with Saka trying to make himself a nuisance. Rice gets away from Eric Burnham. What a chest control that was from Leandro Trossard. Bukayo Saka. Clever pass, beautifully done. Timber. Bukayo Saka. It's brilliantly blocked. Saved off the line as Bukayo Saka showed that he's surely scoring. Beautiful football this from Arsenal. Timber finds Saka. Saka doesn't need to take a second touch. Right-footed effort cleared off the line by the centre half. Best opportunity in the second half falling to the Arsenal number 7. Here's Hincapié. Warning shot fired at Everton there. Could have very easily conceded the second. That's how quickly Arsenal can turn things around here. Saka Being muscled away by Mykolenko. Michael Keane goes for the expansive switch out. Raya sweeps. Turns out to be a very good header. Trossard helps out with ball security. Here's... Ooh, it's a risky pass. Good bit of control there by Zubomendi. Good football this from Arsenal. Oh, they've lost out here. And Stierno Barry takes a touch. It's a heavy touch. He gets away from William Saliba. He's not going to get a pen for it. Very, very risky there. It wasn't William Saliba. It was Martin Zubomendi with the challenge rather. Stierno Barry has gotten there first. Ooh, that's a foul, you know. Could very easily been a foul. It's not in the box, but it's a risk taken. Oh, that's a foul. That's absolutely a foul. Zubomendi gets away with that one. But David Moyes was convinced Arsenal get away with it. Zubomendi went lunging in. It's right at the edge of the box too, so that call going in favour of the Arsenal. Again, Odegaard's passing has to be better there. It's 3 a.m. in India. Definitely time for bed after this one. I was hoping that this game would have a bit more in it. It's been a tough watch as a neutral. I say I'm a neutral, but I'm definitely hate watching Arsenal. Here's Declan Rice. Onto the left-hand side, Ricardo Calafiori. Loses out here, and Everton on the counter-attack. It's 3v4. Look at the Arsenal players there. Dwight McNeil does brilliantly. Looks for the through pass to Alcaraz, and it's swept away by Timber. Again, their final pass has been really lacking there for Everton. Here's Jack Grealish now on the left-hand side. Better this from Everton. They've finally woken up. That's a terrible pass by Jack Grealish. But this is where you want Jack Grealish to take responsibility rather than delegate that to Mykolenko. Go drive, cut in. It was very risky this from Saliba. His pass was intercepted and suddenly Everton turned the ball over. This is a huge bit of fortune there for Arsenal as Zubomendi tried to get there. Instead he's clearly fouled. Thierno Barry. Huge let off. Here's Dwight McNeil. James Garner looked very assured in possession. He's been pressurizing those central areas very nicely alongside Tim Irakbunum. Nice bit of balance in that Everton midfield. O'Brien wins the header. Declan Rice, he loses out. And now Everton in business here. Alcaraz feeds it onto the right-hand side. It's a poor pass. Has to be a better one there for Dwight McNeil. Again, the final pass from the Everton attacks have been really poor. It's a simple pass there. He's overcomplicated it. Made it difficult for Dwight McNeil to recover. Needlessly hand possession back to Arsenal. Mikel Arteta would be quietly confident, but he knows that a 1-0 lead in the Premier League is extremely unsettling. Tarkowski wins the header. O'Brien chips that forward. Trossard lumps that into the air. Everton secure the ball again. Declan Rice keeps winning his headers. Trossard trying to keep that in, but it's a throw in for Everton. With 10 minutes into the second half, Arsenal had the best opportunity with Bukayo Saka. His right-footed effort needing a goal-saving interception by the centre-half for Everton. Michael Keane with Jack Grealish in his own half. Trying to get away from Urian Timber. Oh, it's a terrible pass and he gets away with that one because of the foul that Urian Timber committed there. It was a risky attempt. I think that's a needless yellow card there for Victor Gyökeres. He's kicked the ball away, so the Arsenal centre forward, having scored from the spot, has picked up a yellow card. Now that's pretty poor there from Victor Gyökeres. Needless yellow card. Still a long way to go in the second half. Pretty much dragged on here. Generally feel the second half of games go by a lot quicker. Oh, there's a foul maybe in the box. Comes back with interest. There's a chance. Arsenal still not clear. It's a strike from distance. I think that was Michael Keane. Everton are convinced that there was a shout for a pen here. Thierry Barry has gone to ground. Let's have a look again. Well, William Saliba has cleared the ball. Ooh, that's a pen, you know. That is a pen. Now, if Saliba has not made contact with the ball and he's just kicked out at Barry, that's a clear pen. I'd be very, very surprised to see this. I need to see this from another angle here. They're going to have a look here. Let's have a look. William Saliba has not kicked the ball. He's kicked the player. That's a pen. That's an absolute pen. A stonewaller in my books here. I would be very surprised if this is not given in favour of Everton. Well, Arsenal scored from the spot, and it looks like Everton might be repaid the favour here. They have to look at the penalty incident once again. The referee was sent to the monitor for that O'Brien handball, and I'm sure he'll be asked to have a look at the challenge. Saliba did not kick the ball. He's had a nice little chunk of Thierry Barry here. See, Barry gets the kick. That's a pen. That's absolutely a pen. William Saliba will be a very lucky boy if he gets away with this one. That is a stonewaller. Jack Grealish was right in front of him. He knew exactly what he was seeing there. I would be very surprised if this is not given. It doesn't look like it's going to be given, you know. It's not given. Goodness me, that is very, very fortunate. How is that not a pen? He's missed the ball. He's had a kick. Arsenal survived. This is really, really curious. They've not sent the referee to the monitor. Is it because of a handball in the build-up? I mean, I'm not sure, but Arsenal get away with that one. Trossard cleared away. That's that moment of shock that could go against Arsenal here. They know that the longer this stays at 1-0, there's plenty of jeopardy in the match. Again, I need to know the explanation as to why that wasn't a pen here. Barry kicks the ball in the air. Saliba gets a good chunk of Thierry Barry. No contact with the ball. That's a pen. Barry, brilliant. Oh, that is magnificent play there by Thierry Barry. He spins in Kepi and it's a yellow card for the Ecuadorian centre half. That was the first tackle there, but it's done brilliantly there from Barry to spin away from him. David Moyes is fuming here. He's fuming with his players, fuming with the officials. Arsenal, I think, are very, very lucky. The manner of which they got the pen was fortuitous. It was a brain fade moment, really. And the fact that they didn't concede the pen was mystifying. Dwight McNeil delivers the free kick. David Raya comes to claim, and it's a very good claim, and it's a quick release as well. It's Victor Gyökeres. He's isolated Mikalenko, brilliant. Well, there's an obvious power disparity there because Victor Gyökeres is the most explosive athlete, but Mikalenko defended that situation brilliantly. Half an hour remains at the Hills Dickinson Stadium. Still 1-0 to the Arsenal. There's Alcaraz. Dwight McNeil. James Garner. McNeil again in a central position to Jack Grealish on the left-hand side. A bit of space here for the Englishman. Again, Jack Grealish not taking responsibility and he loses the ball out. That's poor again from Grealish. He's done nothing in that situation, and now Arsenal have committed bodies forward. Jurrien Timber was looking to get the attack going, but Michael Keane quickly onto the spot there. But that was all about Jack Grealish doing nothing with the ball. Saka on the left-hand side finds Leandro Trossard, chops in on his right foot, then on his left. Trossard clips the ball into the box. Timber, good defending there, falls back to Timber. Cross comes in, headed away by Keane, and Grealish. Heavy touch. It's a risk taken there by Grealish, but it pays off. Good composure shown there by the Englishman. Thierry Barry looks to engage with William Saliba, but Arsenal have the ball back. Here's Declan Rice, goes around the outside. It's Bukayo Saka. It's a brilliant block. Grealish helps out defensively. Barry looks to bring the ball down, but he's lost out. Here's Saliba. Martin Odegaard. Arsenal can still kill the game off with the players that they have on the bench. Here's Calafiori. Zubamendi. Leandro Trossard now. Patient from Arsenal. Once again, surgical approach. Trossard. Ricardo Calafiori. Overly patient here from Arsenal. Declan Rice, Calafiori, but it's good possession from the away side. Hincapié, who has to be careful now that he's on a yellow card. Thierry Barry has given him a hard time today. Hincapié, Rice. Here's William Saliba now, striding forward with the ball. Arsenal playing very conservative football. Zubamendi. It's an errant pass there from Zubamendi, and all that pressure leads to absolutely nothing. Well, both the number 9s for the teams have been stripped and ready for action. Beto and Gabriel Jesus. Both coming on here. Seems that Victor Gyökeres' evening will come to an end. And as it stands, he is the match winner. That excellent penalty from the spot will be replaced by Gabriel Jesus shortly. And Beto will be coming on for Thierry Barry. Like-for-like substitution by both managers. Timber. Odegaard. Saka. Nice touch around the corner here. Good football this from Arsenal. Odegaard to Declan Rice. He's got the overload on the left-hand side. Rice. Leandro Trossard hits the bar. Huge opportunity there for Arsenal. They picked Everton apart. And Leandro Trossard does the right thing. Opens the body up. Looks to find the far corner. But it's the post that comes to the rescue. Brilliant from Declan Rice. Leandro Trossard looks to have buried that into the corner. With the post coming to the rescue. Great strike there from the Belgian. Very, very close to being the almost game, set and match. Even though there's a lot of time on the clock. But it remains that the game is open there. Mikel Arteta knows that's a huge, huge opportunity. Well, a change will be made. Victor Gyökeres getting about 64 minutes of game time. He will be replaced by Gabriel Jesus. Different kind of centre forward. Arsenal will be playing a lot better in the forward areas with Jesus dropping in that false 9 position and his link-up play. Thierry Barry will feel that he's a bit unlucky in this game. Could have very easily won a penalty for his side. But the number 11, Thierry Barry, comes off for Beto, the number 9. Beto and Jesus coming on for the last 25 minutes of stoppage time at the Hills Dickinson Stadium. Different problem for Saliba and Hincapié to solve now. Hincapié is on a yellow card. Has to be careful, but he'll be happy to see the back of Thierry Barry. Here's Beto, his first involvement. Can't keep possession there. It's a throw-in for Arsenal. Here's Saliba. Finds Ricardo Calafiori. In an attacking sense, Everton have offered very little in this match. I think Jack Grealish in particular has been well below his standards. Bukayo Saka seems to have gotten a stamp there on his foot. It's going to be a sore one for the Englishman. Might have been caught very late there. Jordan Pickford shows concern for his countrymen. Is that Jack Grealish? What's he done there? Has he just thrown out his leg there and caught Bukayo Saka? Saka's just shaking his head. He can't believe that challenge by Jack Grealish. It did look extremely petulant from Jack Grealish. Bukayo Saka gingerly getting back onto his feet, having a word there with Jordan Pickford, and Saka's not happy there. He's signaling that Jack Grealish is a bit out of his mind there. Can understand why. The game has lacked tempo. It really has. It's been a very fragmented football game. Haven't seen anything free-flowing. Arsenal have created a few opportunities in the second half. Credit to them. Tackling a tough away game with as much control as possible. May not be pretty, but these are kind of away victories that really does showcase whether or not you're ready for the title or not. Here's Ghana. Tarkowski immediately looks for Beto. Again, it's going to be a futile attempt if they just keep launching the ball forward. Here's Declan Rice. Shields the ball well from Eric Bunham. Here's Ricardo Calafiori on the left-hand side in the half space. Switches it out to Bukayo Saka. On the right-hand side up against Mikalenko. Odegaard. Decent ball in. Zubamendi's effort is just wide. Well, it came off the post, but the offside flag subsequently raised. Good strike there by Martin Zubamendi. It's just hit the base of the post by the looks of it. Yep, just the base of the post there. Very unlucky there by Martin Zubamendi. Struck that well. Very fortunate. Well, Arsenal have had their chances. Everton have gotten away with a few of those. Longer it stays 1-0. That jeopardy just continues there for Arsenal, but they are an experienced unit now. No longer the frailties of old. This is a completely different Arsenal side that Arteta has moulded in his image. Nearly 6 years, £1 billion spent. Now we are looking at the final form of Arsenal. Here's David Raya. Hincapié. Given the ball away needlessly. Here's Eric Bunham. James Garner looking for options. Into the 70th minute. Still 1-0 to the visitors. Oh, it's a needless foul there by Ricardo Calafiori. It's a poor foul to give there. O'Brien was facing away from goal. It's a needless push there by the Italian, and it's an opportunity for Everton to get the ball in the mixer. David Moyes has had a stern look on his face with the 70 minutes that have been played. Well, James Garner and Dwight McNeil having a debate here. The left foot of McNeil or the right of James Garner, the option. Garner delivers. Decent header, couple of ricochets. It was a half-hearted appeal for a handball. Decent flick on header, but easily pouched by David Raya. 20 minutes plus stoppage time remain at the Hills Dickinson Stadium. What a throw that is by David Raya. Saka with immediate control. Here's Jesus. Clever pass. Immediately Arsenal looking good in the forward areas here. Rice. Lovely pass there for Saka. The back heel nearly finding Rice again. Smooth move there from Arsenal. Here's Calafiori. Arsenal looking to step it up here and score the second goal. The cushion needed to secure the 3 points. Here's Gabriel Jesus. Odegaard delaying his pass, but the ball breaks to him on the right hand side. Saka and Jesus get in their own way. Well, Saka and Timber rather. Getting in each other's way, unfortunately, from an Arsenal point of view, but good adventure shown again. Clever touches around the corner here. Jesus immediately improving the link-up play for the Arsenal forwards. Gets into those pockets. He can squeeze those passes. He's got a high IQ. Gabriel Jesus is guilty about wasting chances. But as a pure footballer, high quality. Here's Alcaraz. Gets away from the watchful eye of Zubamendi. Eric Burnham finds James Tarkowski. Here's Michael Keane now. Centre halves getting involved in the build-up. Jack Grealish on the left-hand side. Again, Grealish very passive with his possession. That's a terrible pass. He's asking a lot out of Beto. Saliba should be able to deal with this one. Ooh, Beto has made a fist of it and he's won the ball back. Brilliant there from Beto. Keeps the ball under duress as well. Better position here for Everton. Tarkowski finds O'Brien. Dwight McNeil on his left foot looking for the fast take. Raya comes. Raya claims. Brilliant. Referee waves play on here. Martin Odegaard to Gabriel Jesus. Odegaard again. Arsenal looking to pick the Everton lock here. Here's Zubamendi. Good control displayed by Arsenal throughout this match so far. They haven't let the game be stretched. They have not allowed Everton to counter-attack while maintaining healthy amount of attacking threat. Eric Burnham with another tremendous challenge, this time on Jesus. He's looked quite the centre midfielder here, Eric Burnham. The clip pass, Hincapié does well, but on the stretch he can't keep the ball in play. Throw in for Everton. Well, Eric Burnham has been a fantastic midfield presence. It seems that Tyler Dibbling will be coming on. Merlin Roll seems to be getting the call up as well for Everton. David Moyes looking to roll the dice here. Odegaard, lovely drilled pass across to Bukayo Saka. Trossard and acres of space on the left-hand side. It's Bukayo Saka. It's a brilliant block. I think the last touch might have come off Saka. It has. And it's a goal kick. Excellent defending there by Michael Keane. Matt Saka for pace. Happy to show him on his weaker right foot rather than on his left. When he took the shot, he was there in position and it was a very good block. Might be a perfect opportunity here for Everton to get that double substitution going. Into the 75th minute, the business end of the match, well and truly here. Arsenal looking to keep yet another clean sheet, which means that David Raya will pip his fellow countryman, Rob Sanchez, in the Golden Glove race. There's Calafiori. O'Brien does well. He'll be wanting to make amends for that needless concession of the penalty. Throw in for Everton might be the chance for David Moyes to make the double substitution. Tyler Dibbling and Merlin Roll both coming on here. Expect Dwight McNeil to come off. Yep, McNeil is off for Tyler Dibbling. A little bit more directness on the Everton right-hand side expected. And Merlin Roll will be replacing Carlos Alcaraz. Charlie Alcaraz, rather. Will Roll and Dibbling on for the 15 minutes plus stoppage time. Everton looking to throw everything that they have here at the best defense of the league. Here's Jordan Pickford. He hasn't been tested too much. Must have had a few opportunities. Tarkowski boots the ball forward. Beto looking to chase this down. Again, Beto does brilliantly there, but Timber helps out William Saliba because Saliba was spun. A couple of occasions where Beto is starting to get the better of William Saliba. Here's Eric Burnham. Michael Keane now. Okay, no pressure on the ball. Finds Tarkowski. Tarkowski immediately looks up for the long ball forward. Beto shields the ball nicely away from Saliba. Saliba looks to clear. Zubomendi does. Arsenal using their physicality in defence to their advantage and thwarting the Everton attacks. Here's Ghana. Nervy. It's going to be a very nervy end to the match here for Arsenal. That's for sure. Tarkowski. James Garner. Tarkowski again. Arsenal in their mid-block here. Very, very good. Can't see the spaces. It's only out wide where they're forced to play, and that's exactly what Ghana does. Finds Jack Grealish again. Not in the position where he's going to cause Arsenal any sort of problems. Jack Grealish has had a very passive performance. Here's Tyler Dibbling, his first involvement since coming on. Tarkowski's ball into the box. Decent header away. Raya's there, and it's another comfortable gather. Raya yet to really make a save in this match so far. Whatever he's had to deal with, he's dealt with quite comfortably in the match. Nketiah finds Leandro Trossard. Back to David Raya. Again, good control exercised here by Arsenal. It's all about getting the job done in tricky away games. Here's Piero Nketiah. Arsenal looking very calm here, but keep winning the second balls courtesy of Declan Rice. Trossard does well to spin out of trouble. Here's Martin Odegaard. Good bit of pressure applied by James Garner, but they keep the ball nicely. Here's Odegaard. Drops a shoulder nicely away from James Garner and Grealish. Beautiful pass. Pickford thought about coming. He's in no man's land, and he's saved by the O'Brien or Mikalenko slide rather. Good bit of play down the right-hand side. Urian Timber has been a constant outlet there, but Mikalenko does brilliantly. Oh, the last touch came off Urian Timber as well, so not just prevented the ball into the box, but also prevented the corner as Gabriel Martinelli is coming on here. He's got about 10 minutes plus stoppage time as Leandro Trossard coming off. He came the closest to adding the second. His effort off the post. Huge let-off there for Everton. That should have been the nail in the coffin. Instead, the game is still open, and Martinelli looks to close the door now. Has scored some vital goals off the bench, and when he has started, of course, that goal against Manchester City right at the end, it looked like Arsenal were heading towards a defeat, but Gabriel Martinelli rescuing a point. Decent header there by Beto. Here's Tyler Dibbling. Eric Burnham gets there first. Dibbling again. Might not win the race against Saliba. Saka turns beautifully. Declan Rice on the slide. So is Eric Burnham. Both of them. Fair play to them. Quickly get on their feet. Here's Raya. Beautiful pass there to Ricardo Calafiori. Declan Rice. Gabriel Martinelli. His first involvement since coming on. 10 minutes plus stoppage time remain at the Hills Dickinson Stadium. Saliba slices that forward. Good play there by James Tarkowski. Shows his experience and composure. Here's Rice. Calafiori. Declan Rice again. Good ball security. Good ball possession here from Arsenal. Trying to frustrate the home side, the players. Oh, it's a poor pass there by David Raya. No real pressure on him. It's an errant pass, and it's an opportunity for Everton Get the ball in the mixer again with the throw-in. Cameras pan to Mikel Arteta, who looks like a nervous wreck, pacing up and down that touchline. He knows it's a massive, massive end to the game coming up here. And if Arsenal can hold on and go top of the league again, it's a huge boost for them psychologically. O'Brien with the throw. It's a flat one, but it's cleared away by Nketiah. Eric Burnham wins the loose ball. Great strength shown by Eric Burnham and nearly slides the pass, but it's now Arsenal on the break here with the counter-attack. Here's Gabriel Martinelli. He's got fresh legs. Decides to slow the pace of the attack instead. Here's Declan Rice. Martin Odegaard. It's been a professional display from Arsenal in the second half. Had a few moments to kill the game off. Bukayo Saka's effort was cleared off the goal line. Leandro Trossard's shot came off the post. Here's Raya. Finds Nketiah. Very professional end to the match here from Arsenal so far. If it pays off, it looks excellent, but if they don't and they somehow drop points, questions will be asked. Here's Nketiah. Declan Rice wins yet another interception, gets the ball back. Brilliant from Rice. Seems to have found an extra gear to his game. Talked about how the second half Arsenal do get stronger. Here's Bukayo Saka. Timber. Eric Burnham gets away from him nicely here. Odegaard. Rice. Saka. Odegaard again. 7 minutes plus stoppage time remain here at the Hills Dickinson Stadium. Zubimendi. Here's Gabriel Jesus on the left hand side. Keeps it short to Zubimendi. Again, excellent possession here from Arsenal. Complete control of the game. Late on, they're making sure that Everton are not countering here. Well, as I say that, Everton has an opportunity to counter. It's Tyler Dibling. Well, it's Merlin Roll rather, substitute who came on with Tyler Dibling. He's got fresh legs. He'll take the place of Charlie Alcaraz. Here's Roll. Oh, it's a poor pass there by Merlin Roll. Just since coming on, and David Moyes absolutely flabbergasted with that pass. It's not the kind of impression that you want to make since coming on. You want to make sure that your first touches, your first pass is as good as it gets. Arsenal just looking to run down the clock here. Very professional display from the league leaders. Aston Villa playing Manchester United tomorrow. Villa are just 3 points behind Arsenal if both teams get the win. Grealish with yet another foul. Grealish is very lucky that he's not picked up a yellow card. We all know about him being the darling of the English media, but does get a bit of favourable treatment from the referees as well. Well, Mikel Arteta with his brain trust, trying to orchestrate the end of the match here. Nicholas Jover, Gabriel Heinze, all key parts of the Mikel Arteta backroom staff here as Raya pumps the ball forward. Grealish clears. Nice read there by Michael Keane. Great feed there by James Garner. And he tries the audacious quick pass there to Beto. Right idea, but again, you're asking a lot from your centre forward. Beto's chasing this down with a lot of heart. Arsenal play out nicely again. Here's Piero Nketiah. Arsenal's system just shows you that everybody has to be technically proficient. Lovely play again from back to front. Beautiful football this from Arsenal. And it's in non-threatening areas, but the way they just turn defense into attack, very impressive. Here's Rice. Oh, what a challenge again from Eric Burnham. Wow, what a game he's had in midfield. Eric Burnham has really raised eyebrows in terms of how Everton have a gem in their hands here in midfield. Some of his challenges have been outrageous. For me, even though Arsenal winning this game, I think Eric Burnham has been the man of the match. He's been the standout player. In very few moments of attacking brilliance from either team. Timber does well against Grealish. He's had a very comfortable game against Grealish. And that will disappoint David Moyes the most, because if Jack Grealish gives Jurrien Timber a nightmare of a game and they still lose, you can say you try to do everything in your power. Like Bukayo Saka, it's brilliant from Saka, tiptoeing past the Everton defence. He will get the corner. It took 3 Everton players to somehow stop Bukayo Saka. He breezes past Mykolenko, leaves him, and then the pace, and then that bit of trickery. Ooh, Michael Keane goes lunging in, gets a good chunk of the ball, luckily for him. It's a corner instead for Arsenal, looking to still shut this game out here. 3 minutes plus stoppage time remain. The Arsenal fans, the adoring away fans, serenade their number 7. It's been a great shift from the Arsenal players, but the game is still open here. Mikel Merino coming on. He's going to replace Martin Odegaard. There's a bit more physicality needed for the Arsenal midfield, according to Mikel Arteta. He knows that the game will be a bit more basketball-y, a bit more stretched, a lot more aerial duels, and that's why he's bringing on Mikel Merino. Well, he stepped up more than ably as the centre forward in the absence of Gyökeres, Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. Scored against Chelsea, that big equaliser, the textbook centre forward's header. Plays as a centre back for Thomas Tuchel in Borussia Dortmund, and then played as a centre forward for Arsenal. Saka's delivery is cleared away. Garner's header just outside the box. 2 minutes plus stoppage time remain. Arsenal nearly there, getting a valuable 3 points and going back on top of the Premier League table. Saliba, Calafiori, Declan Rice, Gabriel Martinelli on the left hand side. O'Brien not looking to commit. Again, good possession here for Arsenal. They don't mind the clock running down here. Just exuding a lot of control here. Everton have not done nearly enough in terms of a second half performance. You expected a lot more balls in the box, a few more heroic efforts really, but it's been a tepid display there from David Moyes' men. They've competed well, but in the forward areas, it's been really lackluster from both teams really. Arsenal didn't need that extra bit of quality because of the pen that they got in the first half. Did have 2 good opportunities with Saka and Trossard, but if you look at the balance of play, Arsenal deserve the 3 points. Here's Martinelli. Final minute of normal time here. Gabriel Martinelli loses the ball here. Garner secures possession. That's a criminal giveaway there by Roll. Oh, there was a chance and it's nearly an own goal. Tarkowski is happy to see the ball squirm past the post. Again, Merlin Roll. This is a criminal bit of play this from the substitute. What is that pass? He's played it blind. Arsenal could have very easily killed this game off. If you're talking about a cameo off the bench and how to not impress your manager, Merlin Roll has put on a masterclass in that format. It's another corner for Arsenal and they run down the clock even further. It's been a very disappointing second half from Everton. We're into stoppage time here. Well, Arsenal, despite not being at their best against Wolves and Everton, picking up 6 points, as it's a brilliant corner there by Bukayo Saka. Gets another opportunity. Saka with a lovely turn. Saka, brilliant. Cross comes into the box. It's Gabriel Jesus. Oh, it's a sliced effort. Falls its way to Saka very kindly. Saka does well to dig out the cross. Chance. Cleared away somehow. 6 minutes of stoppage time. Arsenal dominating territory here. Here's Jesus. Goes around the outside brilliantly away from Eric Burnham. Oh, Eric Burnham so well to reach out and get something on it. Well, Arsenal playing the game in the Everton box here in stoppage time just showcases their level of dominance. Scoreline may not reflect that, but Arsenal have failed to kill the game off, but they've done more than enough to secure the 3 points. 5 minutes of stoppage time remain. Well, Beto, since coming on, has looked busy, but nowhere near in terms of registering an effort on goal. And Gabriel Jesus does very well with the spin there. Somehow keeps the ball. This is very experienced player, this from Arsenal. Well, Arsenal have just about handled business here. Away at Everton. In previous seasons, they might have dropped points. Done just enough. Jesus does brilliantly there. Martinelli keeps the ball somehow. Might have gone out of play. It has. So goal kick for Everton. Keeps their faint hopes alive. 3.5 minutes remaining of stoppage time. But I think David Moyes will be the first one to understand that they've done nowhere near enough in terms of trying to topple the table toppers. Yes, defensively they've looked good, but Arsenal have had chances to close the game out. But going forward, Everton have a few mitigating circumstances. No Dewsbury Hall or Iliman Ndiaye. They're two key creators. Jack Grealish on that left-hand side has been a terrible display. I mean, non-existent, doesn't even begin to cover it. Here's Beto, barreling his way forward. Beto tries to get the cross into the box. Very good defending there by Hincapié. Eric Burnham once again wins the ball. How many times have we said that in this match? Here's O'Brien. Clever pass here. Dibbling. Loses out to Declan Rice. Tarkowski with the ball into the box. Ooh, there was a slice clearance there by Martin Zubimendi. It's a great claim there by Raya, and it's a quick release as well. What a ball that is from Raya. Absolutely flat, but Everton do well to win the ball, but they give it straight back. Here's Nketiah. David Raya again goes for distance here. Really good kick on him. Here's Rice. Jesus. Rice again. Great run this from Declan Rice, and excellent ball security again. Deep in the Everton half. Jesus. Given the ball away needlessly there. O'Brien does well. Oh, Roll has given the ball away again. Merlin Roll with a cameo to forget. Here's Mikel Merino. Loses out to Eric Burnham here. Everton on the counter-attack. It's a poor pass there by Eric Burnham. Needs to be a bit more composed. Kept the attack going there. Dibbling. Garner. Last chance saloon here for Everton. Can they create a chance out of absolutely nothing? Can they get a strike on target? David Raya has had very little to do in this match. 90 seconds of stoppage time remain. Jordan Pickford launches the ball into the Arsenal box. Rice wins the first header but falls to Tyler Dibbling on the right hand side. Dibbling goes on the outside. It's a poor ball in. Rice intercepts and Rice clears. Nearly turns into a magnificent pass to Gabriel Martinelli, who chases it down. Pickford goes forward, but it's a aimless pass, and once again Arsenal secure possession as we're into the final minute of stoppage time here. Don't think Everton are getting anything from this match. A lot of effort, a lot of heart, but in the forward areas an abject lack of quality. It's a needless foul given there by Bukayo Saka. Opportunity for Everton to have a Hail Mary attempt here. Just put the ball in the box and hope for the best. Because in open play, they haven't threatened Arsenal whatsoever. But you never know with set pieces here. Last chance of the game surely at the Hills Dickinson Stadium. Arsenal within seconds away from regaining top spot in the Premier League table after match week 17. Going 2 points ahead of Manchester City. Ball into the box. Headed away brilliantly there by Hincapié. That just might be the last action. Referee has had a look at his watch. Surely the ball has to go back in the mixer here from Jordan Pickford. He's at the halfway line here. Now the ball is being delivered. Everton leaving a lot of players forward. And that just might be that. And Arsenal do secure all 3 points. You can see there from the celebrations from Arteta and his coaching staff. They know what a massive 3 points this is in the context of the title race. And after match week 17, Arsenal go back at the top of the Premier League table ahead of Manchester City by 2 points. It was Victor Gyökeres' penalty in the first half that remains the difference maker between the two teams. Gyökeres scores from the spot and Arsenal claim all 3 points at the Hills Dickinson Stadium. Disappointment for David Moyes and Everton, doing nowhere near enough in terms of trying to trouble the table toppers. Arsenal getting the job done and securing all 3 points. Full time here at the Hills Dickinson.